Hello everyone. Were you worried? Were you worried for a second when it passed 7 p.m. and there was no JG live on Facebook? Oh, ye have little faith, don't you? Sorry, I got distracted. I'll be honest. It wasn't any massive reason. I was just watching Netflix. That was getting hooked into an episode of Star Trek. That was all it was. It's very good, by the way. If you haven't watched it, I've had more than a few people recommend me watch it. So today was the day to do that, and I have done just that, and slipped into a binge watching fest, and I don't regret it whatsoever. Hope your Sunday is going well, whatever you're up to. If you're joining us, welcome. Oh, I don't have my cuppa either, so I'm so disorganised. Oh, dear me. What are you grateful for? I've got a few ones today. One is I'm grateful for those moments of, this is going to sound really deep, but those moments of kind of mental, I'm going to say, tranquility and peace of mind, which I think I'm particularly grateful for them because a lot of the times they're few and far between, because we all have it, don't we? You know, there's always things to be done, and it's easy to get sort of your mind swept up in not being present in the moment, but thinking about, oh, I've got to do this, and then I've got to do that, and then there's that bit of work, and then got to go and collect so-and-so, or do this piece, or write that blog post, do that video, pick up the kids, whatever it is. You can potentially end up in that kind of thought process, living in the future, or equally in the past, you know, worrying about things that have happened and that have been said and done or whatever. But sometimes I'll have those moments where everything just goes quiet and you can completely just breathe and relax and enjoy. And it's nothing in particular. I remember I had one when I was lying outside. It was a really sunny day and I was lying outside in the garden. I was listening to some music and it was a really pure blue sky, no clouds, sun was shining. And I just was able to just enjoy it for what it was. Didn't need to be anywhere, didn't need to do anything. There could have been stuff to keep me busy, but I didn't need to. And I didn't need to have anything in that moment to feel content and happy, and that is such a beautiful thing, especially in a world that you know, we can be led to believe that we need the things, the stuff. We need the stuff to be happy. We need to achieve to be happy. And, you know, I think a lot of places, a lot of people, without many of those things, have found happiness, and sort of proves that isn't the case. And equally, on the contrary, people who seemingly have everything, who are miserable, I think prove that it's not going to come from, you know, even financial wealth and abundance and fame and stardom, all those kind of things. Anyway, that's one thing I'm grateful for, those moments of peace of mind. I am grateful for the fact that I have had this weekend to myself, and had some free time. I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've had to pursue my dreams and hopefully help make them a reality. So think about what you're grateful for, and remind yourself of it. Say it out loud, say it to yourself, whatever, but kind of connect with it around this. I'm grateful for it doesn't work. Doesn't work. You have to actually feel the emotion for it to really have an impact. So anyway, the topic of today is suspending your disbelief. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you haven't already seen it, I put a video on the Journey page. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and like that page, share it with your friends, like it on social media, blah blah. And the video basically has this tagline saying, are you sick of hearing people say, "Oh, just believe in yourself and everything's possible, man"? Like, it's such a cheesy, it's such a cheesy phrase. And what about the times when you just really don't believe in yourself and you're overcome by self-doubt? Like, I just think it's a huge leap, an unrealistic leap, to just think you can suddenly go from that to, yeah, I suddenly completely believe in all my abilities. And the fact of the matter is that I think that when you're in the pursuit of your goals, you're going to have to push out your comfort zone. You're going to, and when you do that, one of the results of it is that you encounter massive amounts of self-doubt and anxiety. And at that moment, a tactic of just saying believe in yourself, I don't think really is pragmatic. I don't think it helps. So what I use is this concept of suspending your disbelief. So now the idea of this is that you would kind of acknowledge what comes up for you. So whatever it is, and I don't think I can do it, I'm worried, I think I'm shit at this or that, or whatever it may be. And you go, okay, right, I'm registering that. I'm going to put that to one side for a second, and I'm going to do this thing anyway. And I'm going to just focus on showing up. That's all we need to do. I'm just going to show up to whatever it is, the engagement, the event, the competition, the date, the test, the exam, the job interview, whatever it is. I'm just going to show up, but I'm going to show up having put those doubts and disbeliefs aside. And then I can choose, maybe you give yourself, like, later on, after, I can pick them back up again if I want to. Oh yeah, all that shit did happen, all that stuff did hit the fan. But you don't go into the situation with those attached onto you. So you make the conscious decision to put them to one side and go in and you're then entertaining the possibility of a different outcome to what your doubts are telling you. And I think that's a much easier stepping stone to get onto when you're in a state of self-doubt, to go, I'm just going to suspend it, like, press pause, but did you like that sound? Press pause, put it on hold, go into the situation, and show up with more of a resourceful, open mindset. It's not like positive thinking BS, like everything's going to be great, everything's going to be amazing. It's not a guarantee of success either, but I think it gives you a lot higher likelihood and possibility of having a successful outcome, and as a result of not making it less likely for your self-doubt to sabotage you. And basically, I don't know about you, but I often feel like I'm just in a constant process of just, Winston Churchill says, what is it? It's a case of, did he say, is it success, or it's moving from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And I think that when you're trying to pursue your goals, it's just moving from one sort of goal to the next, moving in pursuit of what you want to achieve, continually pushing out your comfort zone, and having to, and the kind of what's inherent of that is constantly butting heads with your doubt, where your ambition meets your doubts. And so I remember a phrase that Nick Fury actually says in the Avengers, I think it's the first film, where he says, unless the world ends, we're going to carry on as if it intends to keep spinning on. And so that's the mindset I have when I go at things, is that you got this idea of like, well, it's all going to go to shit. Maybe it's all going to collapse down. Like, okay, well, if it does, it does. But I'll let the actual situation prove that to me, rather than deciding that's what's going to happen before I get there. And that's really cool. It might sound negative to you, but I think that, well, I mentioned this before, I can't remember when in a video, when I'm not a fan of fake it till you make it, is that it's being honest with yourself and just acknowledging the fact that you might feel that way, you might be thinking those things, but then making the decision that you're going to do it anyway, and you're not going to be, you're not taking your biased expectations as written. You're going to challenge them, despite the fact that you may think or feel those things. So next time you encounter a situation where you're face to face with your doubts or fears, maybe have a go at suspending your disbelief and putting it to one side before you head in. Give yourself a moment or a time afterwards where you can pick it back up if you want to, and get after it, show up. The other thing I mentioned in that video is that we put pressure on ourselves to achieve a very high standard. I'm sure, I don't know, maybe there's some perfectionists out there watching this video, and you've got this idea, if you're going into this task and you want to achieve the highest result possible, and it has to be 100% perfect, and you put all this self-imposed pressure on you. And I speak from experience, but, when I say that, but maybe if we shift gears for a second and we think about priding ourselves or focusing on actually just showing up to the challenge rather than how it's going to go or the end result. Maybe we pride ourselves on the path we choose to walk, the courageous path we choose to walk and how we go about walking it. Maybe we, rather than getting help on the destination and whether we reach it or not, maybe we pride ourselves and focus on always the things within our control, like our beliefs, our attitudes, our work ethic, our preparation, and that you do all these things and take pride in that. Walk in such a way that may inspire others who are endeavouring to do the same things that you are, or even if they're not, if they do other stuff, they're doing other vehicles to their achievements or their dreams. I mean, part of the reason I named that tagline "Journey like every step inspires," because I think whatever you do, whatever your chosen path, we can all help inspire each other by the way we walk our own. Yeah. And I think that's really powerful. You don't need to be in the same field, you don't need to be in the same profession, you don't need to have the same ambitions, it doesn't matter. But one way we can really help each other is by consciously thinking about the way we walk, the way we face our challenges, and success, it's great to have success and have your success inspire others, but success isn't always guaranteed, and sometimes failures can be inspiring too. And sometimes what's most inspiring is the way you got to either one of those. So rather than whatever the end result may be, is that the way that you approached it is or can be a massive source of inspiration. And I think I'll end it on that note. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and post it in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy. I read through all of them, so I'd be more than happy to kind of get back to you and answer your questions in the best way that I can. If you haven't already, please like the journey page and go on there and check it out. I'm going to be posting more content on there, probably videos for the most part. And anything else? No, I think that's it. Who's on here anyway? That's pretty much me for what have I done. That's pretty much me for this time, guys. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend, remainder of your weekend. Look forward to the week ahead, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Okay, fist bump. Peace.